Our next presenter, Deena Frankel, and she's going to make me say this. Breasts. Good God, y'all. What are they good for?
Let's talk about my breasts. So if my breasts were famous domes, the right one would be the Hagia Sophia, and the left one would be St. Peter's Basilica. No, seriously, this is to scale. I researched this. So when I was young, I was totally mortified by this. You know how it is. Kids are very embarrassed about anything they think is wrong with them. I thought people all looked at me thinking, oh, she's freaky, but reality is probably nobody noticed this. You know. But, you know, I grew up in a time when Hollywood and Playboy were fetishizing and commodifying large breasts. Our Barbies and the movies taught us that bigger was better and that bras were not torture devices. The interesting thing that I found out in the course of researching this is that actually this fetish with large breasts is kind of an American phenomenon. I actually read an anthropological study that said that only 13 out of 130 cultures they studied think of large breasts as being a sexual attractant. It's not universal. In my case, though, you know, thanks to the miracle of modern brassiere technology, I was able to look like somebody who was well endowed and actually took advantage of this freakiness. That I had a boyfriend who said that it was like sleeping with two different women. But here is Victoria's secret. This is not maintenance free. It's very expensive. A bra could set you back $90. There are no jockey shorts that would set you back $90, right? And they get in the way of all kinds of things. They get in the way of playing sports. You know, the Greeks knew this. They had the myth of the Amazon women who cut off one of their breasts so they could kill men more effectively. They get in the way of eating and drinking, like a long stem glass just doesn't work unless you lean over the table. They sweat like crazy, and you can't wear those little bralettes that would let them breathe because they don't make them in a double D. And the idea of carrying these bowling balls around for your whole life cuts canyons in your shoulders. And in my case, because I was so lopsided, it also meant years of physical therapy and chiropractic and back pain and lost work, all kinds of problems. And then there is aging. So when you're young, you have breasts. When you get older, you have a bosom. I realized gravity was turning me into my matronly mother. Now, I think that a lot of, so I decided that I was going to do something about this, but I was very embarrassed. I thought about taking a medical tourism vacation to Mexico and having a mommy, you know, having my breast reduction without telling anyone. But I rejected that idea. But it was crazy that I was so embarrassed about the idea of doing this, of fixing this thing that had been, you know, had bothered me psychologically and physically all of my adult life. I mean, what was the problem here? So finally, I got over myself enough to start talking with other women about this. And one of the things that I discovered is that the majority of women are unhappy with their breasts. Now, most of them think they're too small, but there's a significant percentage of women who are unhappy about having large breasts. Everybody I talk to, so one of the things about when you're young, these are, they're like an asset. And then, then when you're in your childbearing years, they're nutritional. But what the hell are they for after menopause? Everybody who I talked to had a story to tell. Like the mother-in-law who had a breast reduction and ran a marathon, the woman who had been the person who had been binding her breasts and finally was able to be free. Well, I finally did it last November. I traded in my double D and my C for a matching set of Bs. And it's so liberating. Now, it is really weird to be a 68-year-old woman with a 24-year-old's breasts. But this was not about vanity. This was really about my physical and emotional well-being, and I'm certainly happy I did it. Imagine you went to sleep as a terrestrial mammal and you woke up as a sleek dolphin. That's for such a long time, women have been molding our bodies with corsets and waxing and bad shoes to some ideal externally of what womanhood is supposed to be. Why not mold ourselves to what our own internal identity is about? I'm so glad things are changing. I admire the young women who are insisting on body positivity, and I am grateful to the trans people who are normalizing the idea that our bodies are mutable and we can shape them to our internal sense of who we are.